Hi, I'm Matt, and this is going to be our interior walkthrough of the Bass Pro Shops Eclipse 10-person tent. I'm going to come around to the front. You see you've got the screen room here, and you see you've got an area here where it's pegged out, an area here where it's pegged out, and this is absolutely necessary in order to be able to get the tension across the front of this. I actually had to repeg this once I've got the tent set up to be able to get that to pull tight. And if you'll notice right here where the screen door's at, there's actually a peg that had to go in right here too. So as we get closer to it, you'll see we come down here, we'll unzip it. And we've got the tension on this side because we put the peg in it. It's pegged out here, it's pegged out here, and it's got an interior ground sheet that goes on it that is separate from the tent itself, and it clips in, and I'll show you that in just a minute. So as we come into the tent, you can see the ground sheet here, and it clips to these little yellow toggles that are on the side of it, and then on the corner here it actually clips to the ring that's on the outside portion of the tent. The ground sheet tucks in up underneath the tent itself. There's another tent stake right here by the entry door, and that is pegged down right there, and then the ground sheet goes up around it. Now, one thing that I've noticed a lot about this ground sheet is that it's actually pretty loose, and if you'll notice here in this corner, I'll pull back just a little bit, that these clips actually keep coming loose every time, but you don't get a whole lot of bug resistance out of this either. Let me close this door, and you can see this gap right here, and when I close this door you'll see that the screen room actually doesn't do a whole lot of good for you on here. It's a nice little room to have. It's just kind of like a divider for your family, but you've got a nice gap up underneath this. So bugs can still get in here pretty well from that area. Now this portion right here is actually part of the tent itself. It's got a little piece of material that goes from left to right and attaches to the base of the tent. It's sewn into it, and then the ground sheet goes over the top of it and gets stretched out. So this is our entry door into the tent, and if you'll notice right here that there's actually some tension that's on this. And when I first put up the tent, I was worried about that because the zipper right here was binding quite a bit, and it had a lot of tension on it. But I've noticed that after it's been out here for 2 days now and set up, that's kind of relaxed. The zipper's a lot easier. You'll see you've got actually 2 zipper handles on here, so you can adjust this the way that you want to open it and move it to a different location. And go ahead and open this up, and we'll get a look at the inside part here. So standing here at the entry door, you can actually notice that there are several windows in here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I've got these rolled up. This is the door on the side here, and then the entire top portion of this is screen mesh covered by the rain fly, and I'll show you a little bit more of that in just a second. So you've got the full bathtub floor on the inside. It comes up about 5 inches, and you can see right here that they've actually done a little bit of extra support where the tent stakes go on the outside of it. So you've actually got a decent amount of support trying to support the plastic material. So these are the windows closed. They don't have any latch up here at the top portion of it, but it's actually got a pretty decent amount of tension on it. And one thing I do like is that when you unzip this a little bit, the rain fly comes out far enough to where you could actually have a little bit of ventilation like that when it's raining outside. And I'll show you how these store in just a second. I've got a couple of them on the other side already open. So we'll do the same thing here, and just let it fold down a little bit. Now this back one's a little bit different. It goes in and tucks into the pocket that's designed at the bottom of this. You see the zipper doesn't go all the way down. And it's actually got a little area that's about 4 inches tall right there that this rolls up into. And then you'll clip this back one, but it's the only one that has to be like that. If you'll notice, I've got these two already open for you, one on the door here and one on this other window, and that is simply just rolled up and put inside of this little pocket that's been designed for it. So it does a pretty good job of storing that, stays out of the way, looks nice. So the entry door right here, it's got the mesh screen on it. It's also got the rain fly portion of it that covers it here. And you can see how well the rain fly covers from the window down, so you could actually have it open. As you set out your guy lines and stuff, this tensions up a little bit more for you, and I have them all fully set up on it this time. So the entry door, you've got 2 pulls on this zipper also, and if you'll notice that there's a little toggle tie-off area here, and there's also one here, so you've got 2 of them that you could tie off. You simply unzip it, and it's a pretty decent entry door. Of course, I didn't open it all the way up and do them one-handed here. So go ahead and close this back, and I'll finish the interior portion of the walkthrough. It also has these covers for the zipper right here. So if you'll notice that if it was to rain, it doesn't want to leak through the zipper. And on the top portion of it, where the water's sliding down with gravity, it's covered from the outside on the tent itself. And then as you make the transition in the color right here, the door actually picks up and it covers the zipper at that point in time. So we'll close this one up, and that's the door. All right, so one thing you'll notice if you're looking around is the one thing that my wife pointed out to me, and she was absolutely correct about, is that if you're looking at this bathtub floor, there's one important thing that is missing here. And that is, there is no electrical port area. There's nowhere to bring a cord in to the tent already designed into it. So I'll show you kind of what our solution is going to be to that in a little bit. So one thing that I was surprised about was these little storage pockets. It's got a little elastic clip hook right here, same type of little ring system that's on the front for the ground sheet. Looks like it's all the same material, all the same everything. So these are elastic right here in this area with the plastic hook on it, and this is a sewn in piece right here with this hook. So you've actually got 5 pockets in this, and that is separate and completely comes out from the tent, and that was a nice little bonus that came with it. You got the same thing on this side, so you've got basically 10 pockets in here for storage in your tent. Now, as far as the electrical goes, we're planning on coming through the bottom of the tent here. So what we'll have to do is take this top zipper, and there is no screen mesh on this portion of the door right here, and you see how that's binding up just a little bit, especially right here where it's staked down. That's really pulling tight, and I don't know if it's just the way that I've set it up or what, but this right here is where we're planning on coming in with the electrical. So we'll only have one useful zipper on this thing when we get done. And if you'll notice, there is no screen at all on this door. So you've got plenty of ventilation on the inside of the tent, but there's just no screen right here at this spot, and it would have been nice to have had that. But you again have the toggles right here if you want to open it up, but you can see we've got a little friend crawling around in here right now. So they're able to get into this thing a little bit, but when you have this closed off, it's just not that big of an issue. It's just for the size of 10, a 20 by 10, it would be nice to be able to have this open during the night, but as you can see, it's just wide open at the base, and it's like that all the way across the front. The back's not so bad, but it is not sealed, so bugs will be able to get in. It's just kind of more of a buffer. Run a citronella candle in here and that should help you out. So what we're planning on doing is coming out of this area right here and bringing the other zipper to it and run the extension cord through here, and then we can run it out this hole right here. So all in all, it's a pretty good design. I'm planning on using this as our kitchen area out here, and if you'll notice that the rain fly stops short of the edge of the tent, so you'll be able to come out here, but if it's raining, it's not going to be a nice place to be. You can step out for a second and get up underneath this area. It's about 6 foot wide, that's covered by the top. There's no separate rain fly for this. This is just the outside material right here at the top. Nice screen mesh all the way around. Again, there's another buddy on the inside of this thing right here, and there's your clips. And you could also unhook this door here, and you could have this area wide open. You roll it down to this one and roll it down to that one, and you have this area wide open. But for the amount of bug resistance you get, you might as well go ahead and have it wide open anyway. So that is my review of the Bass Pro Eclipse 10-person tunnel tent, and thank you very much for watching. I'm Matt. Subscribe below. You could comment below if you got any questions on anything, and have a great day.